Alright guys, so in this video we're gonna cover another very unique and which is flying under the radar project that I believe that could be the Shiba Inu of the next bull run. And yes, I said the next Shiba Inu. So you want to stay tuned for this because this is a very unique project. It's about 3-4 months old, and let's dive in. So the project that we're talking about is Kizuna. So Kizuna was born in October 2nd, I think, when they launched the project. And it is the first token built from decentralized AI. So the history behind the project is that whoever is the dev, the team of devs, basically used bittensor, actually Bit API, which is one of the apps built on bittensor. And if you don't know what bittensor is a decentralized network for artificial intelligence. Okay, it is the top AI project out there without a doubt, and it was asked to create a token, right, that was unique but also was abiding to the principle of decentralization, community, and fairness, like Shiba Inu. Okay, so let's dive in actually into this Medium article, which explains everything about Kizuna and how it was born, right? So Kizuna, decentralization reborn, right? So he says, wouldn't decentralized AI be a more appropriate experiment for launching a cryptocurrency? So enter Kizuna, the first token built from decentralized AI network bittensor, inspired by Ryoshi's successful principle of decentralized maximalism. Okay, when I actually came across this project, which was like back in October, what stood out to me was this picture right here, because I knew what this means, right? I knew what this meant. So I said, hold on a second, what this actually means. And then when I clicked on this Medium and I went over this, I just like, okay, this makes total sense. By the way, this is not financial advice. This is purely my personal opinion. Do not invest more than you can afford to lose. And this is pure speculation, right? I'm just talking about things. So let's walk through this because it gets really interesting, right? So Ryoshi proved that applying specific principle of decentralization can lead to huge success. This was evident with the original decentralized experiment, the SHIB, which reached an all-time high of $40 billion market cap, right? And here there's the graph of SHIB, right? So there have been some projects that they used AI in order to actually come up with that idea and everything, but those were centralized platforms like ChatGPT. Nobody has ever done or used like a decentralized platform to actually create a token, which itself is a unique idea, right? So if you can see here, there's actually a screenshot of what happened, right? They actually asked the AI to come up with a token, and then they asked to use the same principle of Ryoshi. Now, because of course the AI didn't have context, right? They streamed into the AI the actual manifesto of Ryoshi and the actual white paper of Shiba Inu. Okay, then what happened is that the AI came with this four names: Zen token, Bushido coin, Sakura token, and Kizuna token. Okay, and then the AI was asked, okay, like, we want to kind of like replicate the same experiment. Which is the name that stands out the most and aligns most with those principles? And then the AI responded, it was Kizuna, because specifically focuses on strong bonds and connections. Okay, so And that's why leads me to the next point about the community of Kizuna. The community of Kizuna, I believe it's one of the strongest out there. If you can jump into the Telegram group, you can see that like there is a sense of like belonging, a sense of like being there for the project. Because like, again, what I love about Kizuna is that it is a decentralized project. There's no VCs, there's no team. Yes, there is a dev or a dev team behind it that it's building, but all the major decisions about the project, like in terms of like marketing and strategies, it's all community based, right? Like Shiba Inu. So then the AI was asked about, okay, like now we need an image, right? We need a symbol. So, and a visual identity, right? So the AI was asked what animal is the most synonymous or closely related to the Japanese meaning of Kizuna, okay? And then the AI responded of a Japanese crane. So because the Japanese crane in the Japanese culture represents longevity, luck, and harmony. Okay, so that's pretty unique, and also you'll see how that mascot and that crane now has created some beautiful imagery through an actual Telegram AI bot that it's connected to the bittensor network that generates images, and now the community is also like spreading those images out there, which is super unique, right? So, and then they came up with the logo itself of Kizuna, right? So which is pretty unique, and you see this eye right here that's looking at you, so it's just interesting. And then like also like SHIB, Kizuna has a manifesto, right? So where if you can actually open it, it just explain like what Kizuna is in terms of community, and what it is about, and like the mission of Kizuna. Because the mission of Kizuna is to empower individuals with AI, because there are forms of AI like ChatGPT, but those are centralized, and centralizations we've seen that puts like society under extreme control, and then limits also the accessibility in what can be done by a single person, right? So pretty interesting here, like the entire manifesto. I would highly recommend to go and read it, but let's move over like of the other thing. Now, the AI actually created the entire color scheme and gave also some indications about how the website could be done and everything. Okay. Now, the other point about Kizuna is the contract, right? The contract is basically very similar to Shiba Inu. Okay, in terms of how it's been structured, okay, and also how it was launched. Why it was a shelf launch, right, with no pre-bagging or anything like that. And the AI was also asked like, okay, like to make the experiment, commit the project, like really stands towards the principle of decentralization. Do you feel like that we need to have the same contract of SHIB? And I responded yes, right? So now he says, now the Kizuna contract has the same reliable and secure code as SHIB, and then it is deployed, ready to be paired with some trading liquidity, okay? And an emulated launch sequence is needed for the validity of the experiment, right? So the liquidity pool, okay, is locked forever and is inaccessible to the contract owner, okay? Now, like SHIB, Kizuna has a vulnerable point. I don't know if you remember about the story about SHIB, but 50% of the supply, okay, was sent to Vitalik in order to have that uniqueness in terms of like, hey, as long as Vitalik doesn't rug us, SHIBA will grow and survive, okay? And the same thing Kizuna did with SHIB. So 50% of the supply has been sent to the SHIB deployer, okay, which owns like half of the supply of Kizuna. So Pretty unique concept. I do believe that being the mascot of decentralized AI and knowing that AI is a very strong narrative in crypto, I do believe Kizuna is gonna do extremely well. It's super undervalued at the moment. It's about $12 million market cap. We're gonna cover the chart in just a second, but I am very excited about this project and how it's gonna evolve over time, right? So now I was saying about the images, and what's going on is that, like, on Twitter, you'll see that the community is posting these images everywhere, and it's absolutely amazing, right? They're stunning images created by the AI through the prompts, right? So here the website is also very well done. And another thing that it's also unique about Kizuna is that since day one, there has been this burning mechanism which has collected, like, I think it's like over 3% now of the total circulating supply of Kizuna. So the contract, the way it's been built, is very unique, where it collects fees and then it burns Kizuna and then collects ETH for development, okay? Which the development has been phenomenal so far, because number one, a Telegram AI bot has been built, right? Where you can actually generate text and images through bittensor. So the Telegram bot is connected to the bittensor network, okay? And then through API, it just connects to that, and then the bittensor network returns images and text, right? Super unique. But if you actually see here on the hodlers, you see that the dead address, right, is actually 3% of the supply. It's been burned. $376,000 so far has been burned, which is absolutely insane. And this gets done automatically. As soon as it collects the fees, it reaches a threshold, and then it gets burned. Now, Kizuna at the moment has 4,916 hodlers. The people holding Kizuna has been growing steadily over the last 16 weeks since it was born. So the max supply here is 1,000 trillion, and we say 500 trillion are, you know, that has been sent to the SHIBA INU deployer, and then the rest is between the community, all the hodlers of Kizuna. Now, in terms of development, so I'm very excited of what's coming about Kizuna, because like Kizuna is not just a meme token. Kizuna is way more than that. So after the Telegram bot was released, then they're basically the team, or the dev of the team, moved forward to actually secure what is called a bittensor subnet. So a subnet, right, so I'm just going to try to explain in simple words. So bittensor is a unique network, right? And within this network, right, imagine bittensor as being like a mall, right? And in this mall, there's different shops that offer different services, right? Each small shop specializes, like, so for example, you have the ones that does graphic design, the ones that does like images, the other one that process data. Now, what Kizuna is trying to do is to become that small shop inside the bittensor mall, okay, which is going to specialize in coding assistance. Now, think that for a second. Coding is the most in-demand, probably, skill and also baseline on everything that's built, right? Like a website or an app or AI, right? Now, Kizuna is aiming to become the go-to coding assistant subnet of bittensor, right? Now, what's interesting about that is that once you become a subnet and you start having activity on the bittensor network, the network is going to reward you with some tau, which is the native currency of the network. Now, what happened actually last week is that there's been this release of this contract where all the tau there's gonna be accumulated is gonna get distributed amongst the hodlers. So now think about that for a second. You hold Kizuna, which contributes to the bittensor network, and then all the contribution is gonna get back to the holders. So who's gonna sell, right? So it's of course this is not financial advice, but the what it's been built here, I think it just goes way beyond the meme token, and it's just so unique. And by the way, the subnet, it's called Lovelace, right? So Lovelace, right, stands as an open platform, right, inviting all that are curious and passionate about the infinite possibility of AI assisted code. It is designed to drive perpetual improvement and fine-tuning of AI models trained on pure code data sets. Okay, so it's basically, imagine like an assistant that will code for you any idea that you want. Let's say that you want to build an app. Okay, you type in simple word, hey, I want to build an app that, I don't know, tracks, I don't know, I'm just how many times I go to the gym anytime I walk with my phone, right? And have my phone in my hand, right? So that app can create an app that you can install on your phone, and then it basically tracks how many times you go to the gym. I'm just making an example here, right? Like, definitely, I'm sure it will create some more complex type of ideas, but overall, this project is just unique, and I will not be surprised if this surpasses Shiba Inu all-time high. So let's also dive in a little bit into the Twitter profile, right? So far, there's only 7,000 followers, right? Which for a project that's 4 weeks old, purely organic, it's a decent amount, right? But this project is so damn early, and I mean really, really early, because what's going to happen with the bittensor is a powerhouse, and it's going to attract a lot of new eyes to the project. But what I like about Kizuna is the fact that Kizuna is simple, right? Kizuna is the mascot of decentralized AI, is the AI bird, right? So having that simplicity will also help new people get into the bittensor ecosystem, right? So now let's look at the metrics here. 136,000 views here on the original post, and then here the Twitter page is updated very frequently. Actually, this one is just like 5 minutes ago, and there's another one 11 hours ago. And then you see these beautiful images generated by AI, which a lot of them, they have like some mystical and like mysterious meaning behind it. And look, for example, at this post, right? The feathers we weave through the decentralizations are not isolated or knotted to any form of singularity. The crane can and will reign in more than one nest, okay? And then you see here all the nests that look like futuristic with all these cranes flying, and it's just so unique. It's just like, I've never seen this before, and it is one of those projects that I feel it. This is gonna do extremely well And again, this is not financial advice, it's my pure opinion. Do not invest money that you can afford to lose, right? But see here, like she's setting the path with rewards to those with the feathers of the crane, right? So super, super beautiful. I love what it's been built here. It's all this mystical Japanese, and you know, this is so harmonious. It's just like a symphony. Anytime you see posts from the page, and also one thing that I want to show you here, like all the see here all the burns, right, that are happening, and here is the origami contract. Right? Origami, it's basically the reward system of Kizuna, which is gonna distribute wrapped towel on all the Kizuna hodlers, right? So here's the contract right here. And if you see here the contract, you know, the steps, you see cumulative rewards collected by the holder, and then you see wrapped towel here is gonna the one that's gonna get distributed. So now let's go over the Kizuna chart right here, so that we can a little bit dive into some price predictions and see where we at. So like I was saying, Kizuna is sitting right now, I see about $12 million market cap, and as you can see right here, they had a whole time high about like 33 million, right? So it was launched on October 2nd, right? Then it spiked towards like $4 million market cap, okay? And then like 10 days, about a week later, here reached a low about 300K. Then it retraced back up, retraced back down, and then he had this like couple of weeks of heavy retracement, but also accumulation, because like all the biggest holders, they all bought right here. So one of the things is I always buy the red, because like there has been some wallets that I bought right here, and right now they're sitting like hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of token, right? You can see right here, like you know, this address right here, 9.9 trillion token right now is sitting at $123,000 worth of Kizuna, and it probably costed him about $5,000, or like, what is it, like 200x already. So clearly insane. And then, you know, he had this like after that, when, you know, the entire crypto market was like was rising, he has this rise right here up to 3 million, then this retrace back to 1.9, and then here again back to from 3 million to 10 million, and then back to 5 million, and then after that he had this huge rise, so 30 million, back to 7, 8, and then back to 13, right? So there is this like, you can even argue that we are in this in this type of like channel. Where is it? Where is the channel here? Look at the Fibonacci here, right, from this area. So you can see that, you know, the extension of the Fibonacci is looking at what is it? It's about 120 million so far, right? But it's been as you can see, you can even like argue here that we are in a big channel. You would draw this right here, right? And if you maybe do something like this, right? So like you could see that we are in this channel, that, you know, can definitely have a retracement right here, but like overall, that we are in an uptrend, right? So, I mean, again, this is not financial advice. This is purely my personal opinion. But I like where Kizuna is going. I absolutely love it. The community is amazing, and this is, to me, is just getting started. So I would highly recommend you to take a deeper look at this project, because yeah, like SHIBA, like nobody believed in that project, right? It was flying under the radar for so long until it skyrocketed out of nowhere. You know, I always, sometimes when I want to get things in perspective, I just try to minimize the charts like this, because a project like this is so unique and it fits like this, the decentralization narrative, the AI narrative, and what it's been built also is going to add a lot of utility that you can't really, I haven't found it like this yet, to this type of like, you know, project that are like borderline a meme token. Again, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comments below, what do you think about Kizuna and where Kizuna is going in relation to AI, what it's been built, and let me know in the comment below. And also, if you're new to the channel, thanks for passing by and consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next.